Thursday blessings to you. We keep a little quote calendar in our bedroom, and it is one of my duties, if you will, of our marriage to keep that up to date, or as close to up to date as possible. And today when I flipped it, I realized it is October 12th, which is my ordination anniversary. That beautiful, that beautiful certificate over there. When I got ordained 9 years ago today, it was in my home church back in Erie, Pennsylvania. And my home congregation wanted to do it on a Sunday morning. They wanted as many people there to celebrate a child of the church being ordained as possible. And it just so happened the date was 10/12/14, which consequently is pretty easy to remember. And while I'm making this, my mom just texted me, "Happy ordination anniversary." The first time someone spoke into my life that a career in ministry was something they thought possible for my future was when I was in the 5th grade. It was the person who held the job I hold now, the director of education. And she asked me to do the closing prayer at the Vacation Bible School celebration. And I remember being terrified. But for some reason I said yes. And I remember that I had written the prayer, but I was afraid I wouldn't be able to read my handwriting. And I thought back then that prayer had to be memorized or off the cuff, so I was panicked. And I remember my mom saying, "I will write it for you on a note card. You can hold the note card in your hand and look like you're praying with the microphone. No one will know." And after I did the prayer in front of all the VBS participants and their families and everything, I remember the director of education being like, "I can't wait to see how God continues to use your gifts." Now, I would be lying if I said I didn't try to run from this calling, which I've told you all before, for years. And lots of times I bargained with God. I will go to college at a Presbyterian college, and that's enough. Well, shoot, now I'm going to change my degree to religion. But that's it, God. I will be an elder and a Sunday school teacher. I'm not doing vocational ministry. I'll take a gap year and I'll serve in campus ministry and do your work for 1 year. And then I'm back to Erie, Pennsylvania, and I'm teaching Sunday school and I'll be an elder. And then, okay, God, I'll go to seminary because you will not leave me alone, but I'm not getting ordained. I'm not taking the ordination exams. I'm not doing the internships. I will get that master's degree, and then it's back home to my single life and the goals I have before me. And then it was 2 internships and 5 ordination exams and being certified ready to receive a call, but deciding, no, I wasn't going to do that, to taking a job that wasn't ordainable, but having fantastic mentor friends who said, no, we're going to do something. You have the gifts for this. So I tell you all of this because to get to that certificate, to get to this day, it has been a process since the 5th grade, a process of saying no and God continuing to push me in new directions. It has been a process of having to accept who I am and who I'm created to be, and most importantly, whose I am. I am a beloved child of God who happens to have the gifts for this odd and wonderful and overwhelming calling of being an ordained minister who serves children and youth primarily, but alongside another wonderful pastor to build up and create and hopefully further the kingdom here and now. And I know there are more stories like that, not just for those of us who are ordained, but for all of us, for the way that God has shown up, the way that God pushes, the way that God uses other people to remind us that we are beloved and gifted. So while this is an important day for me, 10, 12, 23? Gosh, crazy how fast that 9 years went. I hope that you pay attention to the special days in your life. Gone way over today, but there's my story. There's what I'm thinking about. I had a totally other video ready to go until I remembered when I flipped the calendar what today was, so you'll get that next week, and it'll be back to being short. Blessings.